Hello there. This is Tina Logassi of Prim Heirloom Designs, and this is welcome to my online tutorial of making the Gnome and Max Who Stole Christmas. These are super cute, and I'm sure you know that they've gained some inspiration from very popular characters in the media. But these are really cute versions for your tree. The gnome, I should say, has a little heart, a glittery heart up there. He's got wispy little hands, and this nice little palm trim goes around. And he's finished off with a pom-pom at the top of his hat and a wooden bead for his nose. And then we have Max, which has his telltale. You always know this is Max because of this antler that he's got tied onto his little head there. Little red Rudolphy kind of nose and nice red buffalo plaid there. Yeah, so these are my big ornament for 2022, and I'll be offering them pre-made as well as kits and a free pattern. So this is the pattern, and I'll be sending them for free with any orders that I get kind of in the fall time frame. And then, you know, there'll be instructions and such that you can download from my website, www.primheirloomdesigns.com. It says right there. But for now, I want to take you through the construction of these little guys. For anyone that maybe isn't so comfortable with sewing yet, hand sewing. Anyway, so with your pattern, you're gonna want to start by cutting out all the pattern pieces, following around the edges. And that part I've already done. So I've got them over here, and I'm just going to separate them. There's some very tiny pieces, as you can see. That one is the hand piece, even though the labels come off of it, but I know it's the hand piece for the gnome. Antler, so I'm just going to put the antler up there, the heart over here, because I'm just going to separate them. Mustache, Max tail, gnome arm, Max beard, gnome hat, Max body, Max hat, and gnome body. And there, perfect. So we're gonna start by just gonna put these things aside. I'm gonna cut out the pieces from the different fabrics, and I think I'll start with the fur because it's there's some notes on this one. Just want to make sure you can see me. Okay, good. Your fur always has, so this is fake fur, but even if it was real fur, it's always got kind of a, I guess you could call it a grain or a direction that the fuzz wants to lay. And so obviously when you cut your beards and your little, you know, you do your little wispy hands and your mustache pieces, you want them to follow this direction. So on those pieces, I've purposely drawn arrows, as you can see, that indicate that this arrow is going in the direction of how this fluff is laying, okay? And that's important because if you do it the wrong way, I mean, his beard's not going to lie like this. It's going to look really funny. So I'm going to flip this over because this is the fabric part that fluff is attached to. And I'm going to start with the beard, and I'm just going to line it up here, and you can pin it in place. I'm just going to free cut. But the important thing to note is I am not going to be cutting through the fluff. I am literally just cutting through this backing piece so that I don't cut off any of these long hairs, we'll call them, okay? So again, you can pin this into place. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to pin it, and I am going to include a pin in the kit so that if you're on, I'll just use this one, so that you have that so it doesn't shift around on you. I think that's better. Okay, so to cut, let's see if I can show you. I'm just going as close as I can. See how my scissors have kind of inserted underneath that fluff? And I'm just trying to cut this piece, but not cut, like I'm probably gonna cut some, but try to be very careful to not cut too much of the long hairs. Okay, and under here, because you want to preserve that. So you got your nice Grinchy look. And I come up here. It takes a moment because I'm really trying to, so see how my scissors are coming out here? And when I pull that, see how I've got all those hairs preserved? So if I'd gone straight down, those would come off and it just wouldn't be as cute looking. So that's how you cut the fur pieces. They're a little bit special like that. So I'm just gonna pull this pin out. I'll put that one aside and I'm gonna move on to the mustaches, which of course this piece is sticking here, hang on. So same thing with the mustache. Again, there's an arrow there and it shows me what direction I want to hold it. And this one I am just going to hold because it's such a tiny piece. And again, I'm going to just go in and across. Try not to get those hairs. So I end up with this little, oh, mine's a little bit off, but I can trim that up. There you go. So that's one of them for the mustache. And I'll get the other one going. I just wrote up the instructions for this guy last night in Illustrator. So it is fresh in my mind, the order that I think you should do things. Hopefully this video is not too hard to follow. Okay, so there's your other mustache piece. I'm just gonna move him over. And then I have this other, the little hand piece. It's so tiny, but I mean, those hand wisps are so cute. So, and honestly, you probably have enough that you could get a second gnome out of this. Maybe not all of the supplies, but this is how much you get when you buy the kit. I basically took a kit and that's what I'm working with. So you can see what all you get with it. I should say too, so the kit does not come with a pair of scissors. So you do need to hopefully have a pair of scissors that can cut nicely through the felt. And a glue gun. I find a glue gun so handy. I'm comfortable working with a glue gun. I realize not everyone is. So you can just as easily use like Eileen's craft glue or something to glue the pieces together. You may need to kind of clamp them with some, like if you've got these quilting pins, I find are really handy if I need to hold something together for it to be glued. Oh my goodness, did I just lose the other hand? Oops, I might have. Okay. I can't even remember if that's my first or second. That's what happens when I start talking. I'm just going to cut one more here because I have lots that I can work with. And you're probably going to laugh at me because when this video comes out, I'm probably going to find that little piece where it fell off. Yeah, I just happened to switch scissors. These ones are pretty good, but they've gotten a little dull, so I don't always use them for these activities. Okay, so those are the hands. And I may as well cut the Max beard too while I've got it fresh in my head. So I've got this one. And again, I'm going to position it. This time I'll use the pin again. Oof, I'm recording this on a very warm day and I probably should have the air conditioning on. But I'm trying to muscle through. Okay. And again, there's probably not, was there enough? You could probably jimmy something out of that to make a second one if you wanted. So, oh, and then the tail I need to do from this. So that's the Max beard, put him aside. And the tail, again, the tail's got a little arrow and you only need one of these. So I'll probably do him up here. I'll go back. I like these scissors. Like I should have Christmas music on in the background. Okay, there. All right, so that's your tail. So those pieces are all ready to go for later on, which is nice. All right, let's do the heart next, because it's a little fine piece, so it's this tiny little heart. I wish I could tell you an easy way of doing it, but there's not really. It's just there's plenty here if you need to recut it if you're not happy with your heart shape. I like to use, I'm using these scissors because they really cut to the point, and I like it. I'm just going to cut this down. So again, you can use this for something else. And I'm going to just get right in here. And it's good because if you mess it up, then you got extra. It's coming out pretty good. Whoops. Not. Oh. You know what? Not bad. I'm going to put the pattern aside, and I'm just going to tidy this up a little. But, oh, and then take off that backing. Yeah, so it's a cute little heart. So he goes in my pile of cut things. I'm gonna get rid of this green stuff, and I'm gonna have a drink of coffee. So good. Okay, and now I'm going to go with my red felt. Oh, this little fluff gets everywhere. And I'm doubling it over. I'm going to start with the body. It says cut 2, so that's why I've doubled it over, and I'll use my pin. And I'm just going to go around the edge. It's nice now you've got all the, well, I'd say all of the challenging pieces, but there's one challenging one still, the antler, but we'll get to that. Okay, so that one's ready. Where do these actually, and you can keep, like, these scraps actually fit the arms, so I'm just going to use those as well. And so for the arms, I do have to cut 4, and I like to do 2 and 2, just so that it gets thick, and I can actually line it up with that bottom there, because those are straight pieces. If you want to, you can pin it in place so it doesn't shift around on you. Although, oh yeah, there we go. Straighten that out. Okay. Okay, so there's 2 of the arms, and I will do 2 more. With the felt, it does not matter what direction you cut. There's no no right or wrong direction on felt. So you can put the pieces however they fit nicely for you. Okay, those are done. And I have the hat as the last piece for this guy. And I might just go down here because it's already flat. pretty easy. So again, let's just go ahead and cut the rest of the Max pieces. So I'll get these bits out of the way. And let's get this antler out of the way, because it is, the reason why it's tricky is it's kind of small and it's got lots of bends to it. But I think, I just kind of, I figure it out as I go, but I'm trying to think of an easier way for you. And I'm wondering if pinning it will help. So let's just try that. Just to even get, so it's not moving around so much on you. So you want smaller scissors, although I say that, smaller scissors at the end is really nice and sharp and pointy, but these ones are no longer pointy for me, so I'm actually going to use my big scissors, just because I can get right up there, and I know it's going to cut right through, just like that. And I mean, this one, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just supposed to look like a little antlery thing. So and when you come to the pin, you can just adjust it. I've seen people use pipe cleaner for the antler, but I think that this is just way cuter, the little felt. Okay, so at this point, I'm probably going to pull that out because it'll be easier for me just to hold it in place and do those last couple of cuts. Okay, so you got something that kind of like resembles an antler. Okay, and next is the Max body. Again, it's a cut 2, so I've got my 2 pieces. And there are a couple parts on here that you can sew on the sewing machine if you wanted to, and then flip them out. So if you're an experienced sewist and you're trying to move quicker, I find the Gnome body, the Max body, and the Max hat can all be like, obviously you'd have to reverse this so that your wrong side of fabric was facing out, but you can sew around it at like a 1/4 inch seam and then flip it. This one flips really well if you got turning tubes, but I really wanted to make this this pattern duo for the hand sewist, something that maybe you can do with your kids, or make while you're in front of the TV or something. So, all right. I think those are all of my pieces. So the next video, I'm going to start working on the gnome, the Grinch gnome. I'm just going to call it the Grinch gnome, and go further. I've got to actually run down and get another cup of coffee and find my stuffing. So I'll be with you in a moment.